So we're now going to take a look at the drop set formula as far as supersets are concerned. The drop set formula is a really popular formula within the bodybuilding community and the hypertrophy community. Those that are wanting to build and tone more muscle. So we're going to be looking at the drop set formula with a couple of classic drop set exercises. We're going to be taking it today to the bench press for exercise number 1, followed up by the cable fly for exercise number 2. So if you know what they look like, you realise that they are both hitting the same sort of musculature, the same sort of areas. They're both pushing type exercises. They're both predominantly working through the pecs. And we're going to work the big compound movements first with the isolation movements second. So we're looking at this kind of pre-exhausting of muscle fibers to basically eke out effort and intensity and force through as many muscle fibers as possible from the designated area, from the desired area of tone and strength and hypertrophy. So we're going to be starting with our bench press. With the bench press, I'm going to be looking at about 60-65% of my 1 rep max, and I'm going to be working for about 6 to 10 repetitions on that. I'm going to be basically trying to get a decent amount of fatigue. I want to get to about 7 or an 8 out of 10 on my fatigue level with this set. From there, we're going to move and pan straight across to our cable flies, and the cable flies are then set at about 40% of my 1 rep max for that particular exercise, so that I can really just finish off any muscle fibers that didn't really get worked and exposed here are gonna get it there. So I end up with this huge cross section of worked fibrous area. So guys, check it out. Exercise number 1, 6 to 10 reps, and then I'm going to get up to 15 repetitions with the second exercise, and we're going to be going pretty much back to that. So I'm now giving myself a maximum of a minute. I don't want to take any more than a minute, any more of that time up, because now I want to completely exhaust those muscle fibers while working exercise number 2, cable flies. And that is what Arnie calls the pump. I can feel that by working the pectoral muscles heavily with that first compound exercise, as well as a bunch of other muscles, but then hitting the pecs again with those flies, I really have exhausted a huge cross section of muscle fibre and of muscle. I've hit the angles as well. I've hit a couple of different angles there. Use the head, use the shoulders and the torso in a slightly different orientation. Really, it's going to maximise the amount of stretch and load and stress that I get through the pecs. So because I've worked those pretty much back to back, but I want to be able to go for another few sets over back on my complex as well as here, I'm going to now take 2 minutes rest. I'm going to take that classic kind of 2 to 2.5 maybe minutes rest before going back to my first complex exercise. So again, make sure you check out that valuable rest section. We're going to be talking about some good ideas to make the most out of your rest. So that you, if you're training on your own, that you're not got your head down on Instagram the whole time, that if you're working with clients, you don't have that awkward silence, or you don't have your clients feeling that they're not getting the most out of their session because they're bored of waiting around, then check out that valuable rest time section, that video, to give you guys some little ideas